There's a moment a lot of people notice but don't really understand. Let's say you're in a conversation or you're around someone you care about, and instead of just being there, you're in your head thinking about what to say, replaying what you just said, or trying to figure out how you're coming across, almost like you're watching yourself while you're in the moment. And it feels subtle, but at the same time, you can tell that you're not fully there. And usually, when that happens, your first instinct is to think more, to try to figure it out. If I can just understand this better, if I can just say the right thing, if I can just not mess this up. But the more you do that, the further you move away from the actual moment. And this is where something important starts to click. Overthinking isn't just thinking too much, it's what your system does when something feels important but also a little uncertain. There's something at stake. Maybe it's how you're being perceived, maybe it's the connection, maybe it's not wanting to say the wrong thing. So your mind steps in and tries to change or manage the moment. It tries to stay ahead of everything, predict what's going to happen, adjust what you say, avoid anything that might create tension. And on the surface, that can feel like you're being careful or aware, but underneath it, there's tension. If you really pay attention, your body usually tells you first. Your chest tightens a little, your breathing gets shorter, your attention pulls inward, like you're slightly bracing. And now, instead of being in the moment, you're trying to control it. That's why it's so hard to stop, because part of you believes this is helping, that if you stay on top of everything mentally, you won't mess it up. But presence doesn't work like that. You don't become more present by thinking your way into it. You become present by stepping out of that loop. And that shift is actually smaller than most people think. It's not about forcing your mind to go quiet. It's just noticing that you left the moment. That's it. You catch yourself thinking, and instead of following the thought, you come back to what's actually happening. Their voice, your body sitting there, the feeling in your chest, even your breath, without trying to fix it. And at first, it might only last a few seconds. Your mind will try to pull you back again. That's normal. You're not trying to win against your thoughts. You're just practicing returning. And this is where you start to notice the difference. When you're in your head, you're always slightly ahead of the moment or slightly behind it, replaying or preparing. But when you're present, you're just here, listening, responding naturally, not perfectly, but honestly. And that changes how you come across, because people don't feel your thoughts, they feel your presence. They feel whether you're actually there or just somewhere else in your head. Overthinking can feel tight, like you're trying to hold everything together. But presence feels different. There's still emotion, but there's more space around it. You're not rushing to fix anything, you're just in it. And this doesn't mean you'll never overthink again, because you will. But the difference is you'll notice it sooner and you'll come back faster again and again. And This is where grounded masculinity shows up in a real way, not in having a perfectly quiet mind, but in not being pulled away from yourself every time your mind starts moving. You stay here, even when it's uncomfortable. So, if you feel like you're always in your head, especially around people you care about, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It just means your system learned to rely on thinking instead of trusting the moment. And that shift, and the shift isn't to stop thinking completely, it's to come back a little more often than you leave. And over time, that changes everything.